Hi folks, we're going to do an overview of some of the relatively new Petzl equipment, the Petzl IDs. We've got the IDS over here, which many of you will be familiar with, but this is the new and improved version, which has got some cool new features, and then this is the ID EVAC here as well. So we'll start with this because it looks really quite interesting, doesn't it? And it's got this auxiliary brake, as they call it, on there. You can get that open or closed, and that allows you to have the rope through there without having to put an additional carabiner anywhere, so that's helpful. You'll see this one's a little bit different. It's got a different colour handle and obviously that braking bollard on there as well, but that's not all the differences. They've kind of redesigned this specifically for, as it says in the name, EVAC. So it's designed primarily to go on straight onto the anchor point and to be lowering other people down. You can obviously use it to lift people as well, but the interesting thing about this is that the handle's been reconfigured. So where previously on this one, if you twist the handle around, you'd have to twist it all the way around and then push it upwards to make it descend or lower somebody. With this one, I only have to go to here and they're getting lower down already. So that's quite an interesting one, and it's much easier, to be honest. If you're particularly bothered about that, then that's quite a lot easier to actually lower somebody down with. It's really quite smooth for that. There's an interesting feature we did notice, which is when you let go of that, it whacks into there. Now, people who are paying attention will notice that old IDs didn't used to do that. It's got a spring in there that fires it back. That's really helpful because it locks it off automatically, but we just found it quite interesting that strangely that means it whacks into whatever carabiner there is. I don't think it's going to make a significant difference to safety at all, to be honest, but I think one of the best features on both of these is that automatic recoil with the spring. You can see this one's got the same, so if you just let go of it, it'll automatically lock itself off. This is probably one of the main points of failure with people's use of these, that they used to leave it unlocked, which would be like effectively around there, and it would just sit there unlocked, and that's against the manufacturer instructions. So instead this one just goes all the way back around. Yeah, so there you go. So we'll have a look at threading the device. It's very similar. Those of you familiar with this little tooth cam at the top here will know that if you are descending and you thread it the wrong way around, then it'll grab the rope. So that's there as normal. Sometimes you'll go to thread it and you'll find that the cam doesn't want to move out of the way, and all you need to do is just knock this handle down a little bit and the cam should just shift. So it's feels a little bit different to normal. Lock that in. So yeah, threading's just as normal, really. I thought it'd be helpful for us to have a look at both devices and just see around the back how they look a little bit different. We've already said about the colour of the handle. This one, as I mentioned earlier, rotates only a short way around really when it's lowering, and you'll notice that you've got different markings on here, so you can see the distance between that little arrow there and the markings there is markedly shorter. Really quite a short distance travel in comparison to this one where it says descent here, and then there's a little arrow around here, so you've got to go all that way around to actually undo it. So it just gives you an idea. These are really quite distinct and different devices. I know when I first heard about this, somebody told me that they just put the writing upside down and that was the main difference. Well, the writing is definitely upside down, but there are a number of changes that Petzl have made as well. I'll tell you now that it says 150 kilograms and then 200 kilograms for rescue, and in the Petzl literature it says up to 250 kilograms. So there's various different ratings that for different uses and applications and settings. One of the things to note as well is this reinforced bar here. Just gives a little bit more longevity to the device. They were getting worn out quite a bit, so they've added those on both of them. So when you first hang yourself on this one, the thing that you first feel really different about is the fact that it just locks itself off. So you're not having to consciously lock yourself off each time. But let's have a go at descending down. Yeah, it's nice and smooth. Just let go, locks itself off. And that's normal. If I pull too fast, then it stops me. We just try with the ID EVAC. It's not primarily designed for descending, but Petzl do say you can do that in the instructions. It shows that, so in some situations it might be of use to know that you're able to. Again, it's a little bit different to normal. We're going to push the handle upwards and it will start to lower. I have found it can be a little bit more jerky. I don't know if it's lifting up, which is different to the normal kind of pulling down, but